You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Let's talk some tech on this Thursday with our regular tech contributor, Marsha Collier. Marsha, it's good to see you. How you doing tonight?
Mo, you're looking fabulous. You really are. I love coming here and talking to you. So much tech. And, you know, a lot of times we talk about different new products and things like that and how to protect yourself and things. We got a little of that. And I'm going to have some new products for you coming up in the next few weeks that you will find interesting. But I wanted to talk a little tech philosophy with you, too.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. Now, Android phones always start their stuff on Pixel, right? Your Pixel?
Yep.
Have you gotten the 9 yet?
I have not. I may wait for the 9A. Since they moved up their release celebration, as it were, you know, it was less than a year, and I didn't feel comfortable with buying another phone. And for me, it wasn't like a material upgrade in that short amount of time. I can wait. My phone is beautiful. It's working just fine.
Yeah, I actually feel the same way as you. And I'm even thinking maybe waiting for the 10 because right now they're so busy jamming all the AI into the phone that, you know, Pixels can get wonky with all this new stuff. My phone's working great. I'm a big proponent, just like people. The price of a California 10-year-old car is seriously rising. $13,000 for a 10-year-old California car. If you move them to the East Coast, people are buying them. And I think we're going to get to the same thing with phones when we've got this long warranty period and the upgrades and all the different things that they're making the phones last longer.
I don't need to spend another $800 to $1,000, depending on the model, right now. My phone works, and all of the intricacies I understand, and I'm going to get an update of Android when they go to the next version, next operating system, so I don't feel really left out as it is. So I'm content to wait.
Well, for those of you who don't have a Pixel phone, on the Pixel 8, I have the Pro, and Mo, you have a Pixel 8?
Yes.
Does the Gemini assistant keep popping up and saying, want to use me, want to use me, want to use me?
Yes, like a kid in second grade class, always determined for me to call on it as a teacher.
Me, yeah. Have you tapped it?
No.
Me either.
No, because if I'm looking for something, I know what I'm looking for. I mean, I know I don't want it to tell me what I'm looking for. I'm just going to go find what I'm looking for.
Well, I think one of the sharpest things that people can do when you have this brilliant little computer in your hand is use it to sharpen your own mind and figure out how to do these things, how to be an ace at Google search, how to even use the current assistant that's on an Android phone to make it better. So these things they're going to be adding, and they have added. And I felt, honestly, I haven't filled out the forms and given the okay on my phone. For example, have you heard about the anti-theft upgrade?
No, I have not.
Okay, so your phone has a gyroscope, an accelerometer, and that's for common motion associated with carrying your phone. Now, it's going to notice if someone snatches a phone out of your hand and then starts running or biking or driving away.
Well, that's helpful, unless I can't catch them. I mean, I guess we'll have some sort of GPS location on the phone, but how might this make it better or easier for me to get my phone back?
Well, it makes it easier. It was more difficult for them to factory reset a phone because you can get to it first.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There's that. And are you using private spaces on your phone?
No, I'm not.
I have nothing private, so I don't use private spaces. You can mark your phone as lost on the Find My Device network for easier tracking. And what that'll do is ramp up the phones that are looking, the phones that are on the network. Everybody, you should, if you have an Android phone, download the Find My Device app. You'll be shocked when you open it up. Every phone you ever had or whatever, you have to remove
it's
some.
There. Yeah.
They're there. And you can find them. And I've been practicing with some Android trackers that are getting better and better because of all the billions of Android phones we have. But again, you can automatic lock the phone. for excessive failed authentication. You can do all kinds of things. But as we know with taking pictures of people or even knowing where it is, so you have to find them. The police have to realize that it's a crime. And because of the laws the way they are right now, our phones are not worth more than $1,000.
Let me push back on that. Let's say a phone is snatched out of my hand and I see the thief run away and I use Find My Device and I know in the general vicinity of where it is, I'm quite sure police would say, do not try to apprehend. That person may be armed and or dangerous, obviously is a criminal. But at the same time, if I go to the police, they probably would not make that a high priority item. So isn't it just better to go ahead and wipe the phone and take the loss?
That's what I'm saying. The Find My Device app, I think, is the best thing you can do. Personally, I would put on the sound because you can tap on that to make sound and let that person know that you're controlling the phone. I would lock it. You can lock it through Find My Device without wiping the phone. That's what I do. I just lock the phone. So, if you've got biometrics set up, let them try and figure also what your keys are. Then another thing is car crash detection. Hey, I think that's awesome. That was one of the reasons I kept OnStar on my car for so long, is because if I was in a car crash all by myself, it would phone me and I'd go, help, help. And they would call the police. Now, the same thing will be, they're starting it right now on the Pixel phones. And all of you, I know we talk about Pixel phones, but Pixel phones are really the tryout spot for all the new Android features. We get to be the guinea pigs for the rest of you. And once they prove that it's working great, then it goes ahead. So have you noticed that you have a personal safety app on your phone?
Yes, I have noticed that.
How much of it have you filled out?
I want to say 2/3 of it.
And you filled out only what you felt comfortable. What
Correct.
did you put in it?
I put in the secondary contact information, in case of emergency person, things of that nature.
Right.
That's as far
Did
as
you
I've
put
gone.
any medical history or anything?
No, I did not. I did not. Consciously did not.
And I have to tell you, I put that in my book. That's not the place for your medical history. I drove around the San Fernando Valley and went from one firehouse to the next. And I asked the guy, and I said, or the lady, and I said, when you pick up someone on the street who's been in an accident or who's been hurt or something like that, do you go through their phone for their medical history? The clean answer there was heck no. Basically, they are not interested in futzing with your phone if you're in a serious medical condition.
If it's an emergency, they're going to take me to the hospital anyhow. They will have my medical information there.
Exactly. And even if they don't, I recommend anybody print out all your medications, fold it up, nice little fold, put it in your wallet behind your driver's license. I do it, carry it with you at all times, because a lot of times some of the meds people take would affect other drugs. But that's a far more effective way. But people like it in their phone. And one more time, remember, when you give up permission for someone to go into your phone, it's open season.
Great advice and information from Marsha Collier. We'll have more on this Tech Thursday with her, so keep it right here on KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app as we continue on this Tech Thursday with Marsha Collier, who joins me. Marsha, you and I have talked about this off the air. I think we should talk about it now on the air. I am someone who's slow to adopt certain marketplaces. It took me a while to grab hold of eBay, and I know you, as the queen, eBay for Dummies, you were very helpful in that regard. It took me a while to adopt Amazon. I still have not adopted Temu or Temu or Tamo. I don't know how they pronounce
or
it.
Shein
Right.
or Sheen or whatever.
Right. And I didn't do Allied Express. The point is, I have to grow in confidence. I let all my other friends be the test dummies because I hear all the horror stories of how they order something and it never shows up, and it's buyer beware for the most part. How do you recommend that we should approach this online marketplace?
Well, you threw in Shein and Temu, and I just want to tell you what you're going to get from those companies. You may get good merchandise. Granted, you may get a good deal, but what you're paying for is with your data. It is on your phone. It has been proven, and there's cases in Washington now where they have the phone, your phone is on at night, it's phoning home, and it's sending your data. I personally will never put Temu or Shein on my phone, period. So I'm stuck basically with eBay, Amazon, the occasional J. Crew, little Ralph Lauren, Nordstrom, Saks.
Not fly by night.
Not exactly. Brands, although Neiman Marcus did get hacked, which thanks a lot for that. But we've all frozen our credit, as we've talked about, so we shouldn't have to worry about that part of it.
But what do we do when we try a place, or let's say we get on eBay and it's not a retailer or a supplier that we've used before, and we want to take a chance? We don't get it, our package. What should we do? What should be the first step? Well,
eBay is easy. I'm going to mainly talk about Amazon here, but eBay is easy. They have a 100% warranty that it will arrive. The seller has to input the tracking number. And if there's no tracking number on your package, I'd be a little sus at that point. I worry about that because eBay wants them to put in a tracking number, and eBay will tell you that your package will be delivered on such and such a date. If it's not delivered on such and such a date, there's a problem. If it arrives not as described in the listing, you immediately go onto your eBay account. I personally message the seller through eBay and let them know it arrived not as described before I open a case. And if you open a case and you are found that it was the right thing, they may ask for pictures, you get your money back. So eBay's easy. It's Amazon where we're talking about this because this is a whole new scam. It's called a brushing scam. I don't know why it's called a brushing. It has nothing to do with brushes. You know how when you read Amazon reviews, it says verified purchases?
Right, of course.
So these people actually bought the product.
Right.
Well, it seems they may not have.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. What can I tell you? You can't believe everything you read on the internet. Shock. So did you ever get a package that you didn't order?
Not me. I've had packages that never arrived. I've had packages that I had to reorder. Somehow it got lost in shipping, and Amazon, to their credit, will say your package seems to have been lost, and they will offer the option for a refund. But I haven't received, short of someone just a driver incorrectly placing my neighbor's package on my porch.
Right. Okay, this is a whole new thing, is you get a package of something you didn't order. You go to your orders and said, did I order this? It's not there. It's not listed. This happened to me, and it was particularly scary to me because it was some sort of religious tract thingy sent to me from Amazon. And I didn't order it. I called Amazon. They said, that's all right, just keep it, whatever, donate it to a library, do whatever you want. You're not charged for it because it's not on your account. What these people do is they use the information that comes up in the breaches. So they have your address, they have your name, and they send it as a gift to you. Now, that you think that's kind of stupid. Why would you send your product to people?
Yeah, what's the end game here?
The end game is they get to add reviews as a verified purchase. And that's where the fake reviews look doubly legit because it says verified purchase.
So the scam is not necessarily duping you to take your money. The scam is to dupe general customers so they will buy possibly fraudulent products.
Right. So other people will buy products. I recommend, if this happens to you, if you get a dog toy in the mail and you never ordered it or something, notify Amazon. Let them know that it's happened, because then they can keep an eye on that seller. If you don't, they'll never know.
I never thought of that.
This is, and actually it can, they can do brushing scams. They can also email you for payment. And somebody who's not familiar with how Amazon works will say, oh, I have to send them money. There's all kinds of things that could happen. If you didn't order it, you don't have to return it. You're safe, and report it to Amazon. But there's also the identity theft thing. They could be using your name and address for more than just sending you stuff on Amazon, which verifies that you are you, because it arrives and the package isn't sent back.
Marsha Collier, you're just making me even more apprehensive about existing in this online marketplace. There's so many things to worry about, but our data is so very valuable to not only ourselves, but anyone else out there, including would-be criminals. I got to run at this point, but thank you, Marsha, for coming on this evening. Right before we go into this Labor Day weekend, I'm quite sure all of us may be doing a little online purchasing, so this might be very valuable immediately. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Thanks. And don't forget to set up your lists before you go shopping, because just because it's on sale doesn't mean you have to buy it.
Oh, can't we please just buy everything as we see it? Can't we please? Oh, please, oh, please. Have a great weekend, Marsha.
You too, Mo. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
We're back. Woo! And we did not come to play.
Yep.
Buckle up, buttercups. Tens of thousands applied, but only 9 of the most talented barbecue cooks in America made the cut.
I just hope this decision I made was a good one.
Amen, sister.
These cooks are here to show us their stuff.
Yes. Oh, look at that.
And you won't believe what we have in store for them.
Ooh, I love a plot twist.
We're serving up some tangy twists.
I told y'all things was gonna be different. What is going on, Lord?
They'll either shine bright.
You won. You hit the jackpot, because this is good, girl. I thought I was going home for sure.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. With the Labor Day weekend and holiday barbecues upon us, it's time to get in that last hurrah of summer. How better to do just that than talk holiday barbecues with a fourth-generation Texas Pitmaster. You may know Sloan Rinaldi from season 3 of Netflix's Barbecue Showdown, which premiered on the 4th of July. And she recently released her book of the same name, Barbecue Showdown, featuring her 13 challenge-winning recipes as seen on the show. That's not including her line of award-winning barbecue sauces. But right now, I'm pleased to welcome Sloan Rinaldi to Later with Mo Kelly. Sloan, a pleasure to have you on tonight. How are you doing?
Yo, Mo, man, this is my pleasure, dude. This is my pleasure to be with you. I'm so happy.
I got to start with the obvious question. How were you first exposed to grilling, barbecuing, however you want to characterize it?
Okay, first of all, I would never say grilling. It's strictly smoking barbecue, man. I'm smoking barbecue.
No, let's drill down on that. Tell us why the distinction. Go ahead.
The distinction is this. You grill hot dogs, you grill hamburgers, right? You grill a steak. You smoke a brisket, right? You smoke ribs. So that is the distinction right there. Now, for myself, I am a fourth generation pitmaster and did not enter the barbecue world until about 10 years ago. But it's just absolutely a God-given, blessing that I've been able to do what I've been able to do in barbecue. I'm so very thankful.
What makes one a pit master? I'm quite sure people have been doing something a long time. It doesn't make you a master. Look, I've walked my whole life. I wouldn't say I'm very good at it. I don't have a great balance. You know what I mean?
Me either.
But what makes you or anyone else a master by definition?
That's a fantastic question. I was just speaking with someone about that. For me, being the master of your pit basically is to indicate that you have mastered all type of fire apparatus. So it could be a small offset pit. It could be a 500-gallon offset pit or a 1,000-gallon offset pit. It could be a rotisserie smoker. It could be a green egg, live fire table. All of those elements, all live fire elements, when you are the master of being able to control their temperatures and create succulent, melt in your mouth barbecue, you are then a pitmaster. And it is always best that someone else refer to you as a pitmaster first. Okay. My feeling is that anyway. I would never, and I did not refer to myself as a pitmaster in the beginning. I think that's something that you definitely earn your chops and prove yourself, right? So in barbecue, a pitmaster again indicates that you have mastered fire.
I know whenever I get in the car, or if I should just turn on the radio and listen to some other radio show, it's hard for me to listen and not think as a radio personality. There's certain things I'm going to hear. There's certain things I'm going to notice, be it background production or foreground oration by the host. Can you go to somebody's barbecue and not be at least internally judgmental?
Oh, gosh. For me, myself, I am always looking for great barbecue. And I'm in Houston, and we've kind of become the barbecue capital of Texas. So there's like literally a solid 30 joints that I can go to and know that when I walk in, I'm going to have an incredibly consistent, number one, experience. It's going to be the same as the last time. The brisket is going to be consistently done. All the other proteins and sides are going to be next level. And for me, that's number one, what I'm looking for. So I don't go in and I'm not critiquing too much. I'm really just enjoying the experience and seeing what they've done differently. Because there is so much in Houston. We are the most diverse city in the nation now, right? So that means our culinary scene is equally as diverse. And in turn, our barbecue scene is diverse. So there is so much going on in Houston barbecue, from Vietnamese influences to Creole Cajun influences, much like myself, or South American. I mean, it's just all over the place. Mediterranean influences. I mean, it's just incredible. So I don't necessarily go in and I'm thinking, what could I do better? What should they do better? Or anything like that. It's always about enjoying what they have done and looking around and taking it all in, because it's a treat right now to be in barbecue for sure.
Now, I know there's a lot of competition within the barbecue industry. I know that if I tell my friends I'm going to Memphis, they say, you got to go here. Or if I'm in Texas, they say, you got to go here. Or in LA, you got to go there. What really separates these barbecue places, other than the obvious as far as maybe the Mediterranean influence or the other culinary influences, which probably come from different communities?
Yeah. So Houston, for me, and when anyone comes here, number one, I'm going to tell them my go-to is going to be Truth Barbecue. So I'm sending people to Truth for a couple of reasons. Okay. Number one, it's going to be consistency. I'll always come back to that. Consistency is king. So I'm sitting on the Truth. It's a must go to place in Houston because they are doing Houston craft barbecue next level. So it's the best, right? So for us, we feel that Texas barbecue is a standalone, being that Memphis and Kansas City don't do brisket, So it's a pork generated, I mean, they're into pork. Well, we do both. We do an incredible pork and we do incredible brisket. So we're kind of, we're more, I think, well-rounded in barbecue. Maybe that's what globally why Texas barbecue is the phenomenon it is because it does encompass all cooking techniques and styles and types of proteins. We're not limiting ourselves at all, So it's just what we're doing is, I think, opening up a type of barbecue that before people traditionally, it was very simple and it was a craft that's well done. Now we're trying to elevate all those techniques, everything from the sides to the desserts. We're using premium ingredients. We're refining techniques. And we're being creative and diverse. And we're just going for it. But always coming back to the fact that unless it's consistent day after day, that is not success. To be a top 10 barbecue joint in Houston and Texas is that every day you have to have that same consistency. You can lose your spot on that list one off day.
One off day. Wow.
One off day.
We're talking, Sloan, Rinaldi, on basically the eve of the Labor Day weekend. I wonder, is there any type of understood, unstated expectation that the Labor Day holiday is going to have in a culinary sense, which is different from 4th of July or maybe Memorial Day weekend?
Well, it's definitely the wrap up to the summer. And I would say specifically, Labor Day, most people like to take it a little easier. it may be more grilling than smoking on Labor Day, just because of that. It is so labor intense, I think folks like to really, at that point, it's a wrap up for the summer. Everyone knows that. You're going into the fall and the winter. It's going to be a long time before you have another summer holiday. So it's about enjoying your family and your friends. And that's when grilling hot dogs, grilling hamburgers, that type of thing comes into play. But smoking barbecue, for the enthusiasts and the diehard, I mean, they love to do it regardless. They don't care how much work it goes into it. You're going to have those guys that the lucky family and friends will be there and they get to experience their brisket. But most people are going to take it a little bit easier on Labor Day, but it's always just being outside, fired up any kind of pit, charcoal, wood, whatever, and enjoying your family and friends. I think that's what Labor Day specifically is about.
If you're just tuning in, my guest right now on the line is Sloan Rinaldi. You probably know her from season 3 of Netflix's BBQ Showdown, or her book of the same name, BBQ Showdown, or her many award-winning barbecue sauces. Labor Day weekend is almost here, so we got to get you ready for it. So there's more with Sloan and here on Later with Mo Kelly in just a moment.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
We're talking about barbecuing. We're talking about pit mastering. We're talking about all the things that I really don't know much about. And I love how my guest right now, Sloan Rinaldi, is educating me and hopefully some other people listening right now on the finer points of culinary cuisine for this holiday weekend. Sloan Rinaldi, you know, from Netflix's BBQ Showdown. She has a recently released book of the same name. And also she has a line of award-winning barbecue sauces. So Sloan, let me bring you back into this conversation. And I readily admit that it's okay for me not to know because you are the expert and I'm not. If you were to say, Mo, I'm going to knock your socks off this Labor Day weekend. I need you to sit in that chair over there and I'm going to cook for you X, Y, and Z. What would those items be?
Okay, first off, always. So start with prime Texas brisket. All right. So I'm going to give you some succulent, melt in your mouth brisket. You'll never forget. Right. Then I'm going to take you to the next level, man. I'm going to give you some incredible pork belly burn-ins. For us, we've taken the pork belly, we've cubed them up, we've rubbed them and binded them with mustard and then our Creole seasoning and then our Creole rub on top of that. We've smoked them, we've taken them off, we've braised them for hours, we've taken them back on the pit, we've glazed them, we've taken them back off from there, and have rendered the most succulent bite of barbecue you will ever have in your life in one little burn-in. Okay, pork belly burn-in. So that's 2 of the proteins I'm doing for you straight off the bat, man. You'll never forget them. And then likely, I think one of my favorite, I'm going to do my 2 fave sides. I'm going to go with corn pudding, right? And our pinto beans with ham hocks. Those are my 2 quintessential Texas sides that they complement each other very well. And I think will just definitely knock your socks off.
How do sides vary by location or region?
Well, in Texas, sides and in craft barbecue have become like almost the star. You know it's a given when you go into a craft barbecue joint that you're going to have incredible proteins. The beef is going to be prime, the poultry, the seafood, whatever, all that, the pork, it's all going to be next level, natural, and the best, right? So then it comes down to the sides. We've got to a point where it is, you can tell the quality of a barbecue joint by the sides. So they are all premium ingredients. They are all handcrafted and they're next level. So you may have a traditional side that you've had all your life, but it tastes different now, right? You got caramelization involved, like my baked beans. Our baked beans, it's simple. It's baked beans, right? Bacon, onion, dark brown sugar, and then all the other things, right? And you combine them together. Well, where the magic happens is between the 3rd and the 4th hour of baking. People put them in the oven for an hour, maybe 2 even. It's at 3 to 4 hours that you have caramelization, right? So the bacon is completely rendered. It's not all floppy. You almost don't even see the bacon anymore. Actually, all that's left is the little pieces of pork, right? Because all the fat is completely rendered. So you have completely rendered the pork, and you have caramelized the onion and the brown sugar, and now you have got candied baked beans, okay? So it is those techniques. It is taking that runny baked bean and turning it into a delicacy of baked beans, So it's taking all our sides and taking them next level, elevating everything. Premium ingredients, premium product, and just refined technique.
I know when I was growing up, I would say the household recipes were secret and they were only passed on by oral tradition. Given with the influx of the internet and the popularity of being a pitmaster, is it still mostly oral tradition, or are there books, TV shows, which are specifically designed to teach people the secrets of the trade?
Okay, for me, it was oral up until now. So I took those centuries old oral recipes that had never been written down, and I crafted them into the recipes that you'll find in my Sloan's cookbook, BBQ Showdown, 13 challenge-winning recipes. The majority of those recipes are centuries-old family recipes, right, that were orally given. So I sat down, created them, got them into a cookbook format, and have made them available to everyone, right? So also some of those recipes were created on the fly, the Texas Q Rodeo Burger on set, and were challenge-winning recipes. So you have a combination there. There's the oral history that I just recently dropped into a book form that's available for everyone, and then those things that were done on the fly. Now, I think traditionally, it is just getting to a point when you have someone that's like myself that comes fourth generation, that once you get to this fourth generation and you're wanting to pass it on to others, we're having to write those things down. You know, I finally had to write down a Thanksgiving turkey dressing recipe for my niece. You know, every year I'm the one that has to make dressing for everybody, right?
Right.
Well, now in order to pass it down to Allie, I had to sit down and figure it out, write it all out for her to be able to do. So now those things are going from oral to written, and it's a way to preserve our history for sure.
Sloan, Rinaldi, I've enjoyed this conversation with you. Let me leave you with this question. I know that this is your passion. I know that this is your vocation, and obviously also your invocation. I'm quite sure, if I could speak for you, that you were put here to do this. But this is not the totality of who you are. If you're just trying to get something to eat, or if you want to eat something, do you find yourself always hewing back to what you do professionally, or what are your other culinary favorites or things that you enjoy?
You know, I'm late to barbecue. It was not even my go-to as something I wanted to go eat ever in my life until the last 10 years. My wife was always wanting to get barbecue or brisket specifically. And I was like, no, that's not what I want. And for me, my go-tos are going to be Creole, Cajun, right? Being from where I'm at. And I mean, that's where I live and die. I mean, I'll take that every day over anything else. And it's what I prefer to cook in my own home. And then Italian, you know, and then at the end of that would be Tex-Mex. You know, so those are the styles of food I like to eat. And then again, if I'm going out looking for barbecue, now I'm looking for amazing barbecue. Absolutely.
Well, okay, so you are a little bit judgmental. You're looking for amazing barbecue.
Amazing, yeah, it's amazing. That's true. I'm looking for amazing. That's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
You've imparted some wisdom for everyone listening can have some amazing barbecue this Labor Day weekend. Sloan Rinaldi from season 3 of Netflix's BBQ Showdown, which premiered on the 4th of July, recently released her cookbook of the same name, BBQ Showdown. 13 challenge-winning recipes, as also seen on the show, and that doesn't include her line of award-winning barbecue sauces. Very quickly, Sloan, how can people find you on social media and beyond?
Yes, please go to texasq.com. All roads lead to me from there. All our links are there. IG, you can find me, my personal, Sloan Rinaldi. Texas Q's on IG, Texas Q's on Facebook. And we'll soon have our YouTube channel up and TikTok. So really, texasq.com is where you want to go. You can purchase everything there and then find me from there as well.
Thank you so much for coming on tonight, and have a wonderful Labor Day weekend.
You too. Thank you, Mo. You have a wonderful, safe holiday, everyone.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.